Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss the 2020 TV special from Netflix and DreamWorks, Captain Underpants Mega Blissmas. So, happy Christmas season to all. In the words of our dear beloved Linda Belcher, everybody come, look at the tree, look at the tree. Oh, I love the tree. And then Bob saying, it's the day after Halloween, Lynn. Happy day after Halloween, one and all. We are starting our Christmas movie marathon. We're posting one Christmas review a day, on top of other stuff sprinkled in throughout the 2 months leading up to Christmas. So, I figured it's appropriate to then do what we kind of did last year. Last year in 23, we did, I think it was the Shrek Halloween review on Halloween, and then we did the Christmas Shrek the Halls or something like that right after that. There's a few different Christmas Shrek films and shorts. So we did one of those. I think it was like one of those transition things we did, Halloween to Christmas, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, other properties, other cartoon properties do that. So what other properties can we find that has both Halloween and Christmas? So I was like, well, we just watched some other things on Netflix, and conveniently, there's the Captain Underpants Christmas special, which we just watched right after we watched our Captain Underpants Halloween special. And so, Captain Underpants Mega Blissmas. Now, what is Blissmas? Well, it's Harold and George's version of Christmas. That is a week-long celebration. There's lasers, there's robots, there's explosions, there's fires. There's a fire, there's a dinosaur made of fire. Crazy, right? Harold and George take Melvin's time machine to go back to the original start of Santa Claus in the North Pole in 1720, loading up the sleigh and taking Christmas presents around, right? And they convince him via their comic book that they wrote, after being chaperoned and escorted to the North Pole by Captain Underpants, of course, about Blissmas, and that it should be about this and that, and then winds up being Santa getting gifts, not giving gifts to kids, giving gifts to all. And so, of course, all hell breaks loose, as one does in true Captain America fashion, but the imagination of it is endearing. The animation of it is fantastic. This is a multimedia project. It's musical. It has hand puppets, it has stop motion, it has 2D hand-drawn animated stuff. This has so many things to it in regards to multimedia. This is a pure example of multimedia property. Multimedia. It is a multimedia megadome worth of awesomeness, right? Because Blissmas is also robots fighting each other in a megadome style thing. It's just so cool. It's cool them rediscovering the true meaning of Christmas, giving to others. Presence is the present, all that good stuff. It was just, it's quick. It's broken up into chapters as well. There's 10 chapters in this 45-minute long special. What I love about the Captain America projects that I've noticed is that it feels like you're watching a comic, or it feels like you're watching a graphic novel. And I'm curious if the Captain Underpants books have that same kind of vibe to them. The vibe, right? That these two specials that we watched, plus the animated film, the CGI animated film, 2017 feature film. I'm curious if the books have that same kind of vibe, because the people who write this, whoever writes this, I don't actually know who they are, have such an imagination to them in regards to putting pen to paper or fingertips to keyboards, right? Breaking up the story in 10 different parts and using that comic book transition thing we talked about in the Halloween special review, and multimedia, hand puppets, stop motion animation, as well as 2D animation. I did not expect to see 3 different properties, 3 different variants of multimedia in this one singular property. This is so cool. I'm very impressed. I had no expectations. It doesn't have a good score on IMDb, so I had no expectations, to be honest. But I am very much surprised. I am very much blown away. I want there to be a Harold and George, I was going to say Harold and Kumar, Harold and George Easter special. That would be very entertaining. Speaking of Bob's Burgers, the Bob's Burgers Easter special called Eggs for Days is the only Easter episode of Bob's Burgers, and it's the best episode of Bob's Burgers. So, rounding out our Bob's Burgers, coming back to the beginning, right? We started with Bob's, we're ending with Bob's. Captain Underpants, Mega Blissmas. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.